Hello and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, as played by Cardboard Decoy in our Lifetime Movie of the Week, or something. I don't know where I was going with that. It just seemed like I was giving that delivery a little weirdly. Anyways, I went ahead and did the maneuver, so you can't tell, but we're on our way to a solar orbit, and yeah, this is really good stuff. This is going to be our Helios mission. Actually, you know what? I should start renaming these things, especially now that we're getting into drones and whatnot. You know, and as much as I'd like to be able to actually rescue Jeb and all of that, I think he's going to have to spend another couple of years while technology improves to the point that we can actually rescue him. So we're going to rename vessel. This is the Helios. I don't know what the Kerbal equivalent of a Roman god would be on that. This is going to be a Helios 1. There we go. Cool. All right. And you can see all those other options that are very tempting to me. Trust me, I do want to be making space stations and space bases and the like. So, but that will happen after a while. Okay, now we're just in days. For a second, I thought we were in years already, and I was like, oh lordy. All right, you know what? Why waste time doing this whenever we could be maneuvering right now? Our electric charge is fine. That's incredibly good news. We've got plenty of monopropellant. Oh, I'm still in time warp here. Alright, so, and I think, even though it might not be the most efficient use of fuel, I want results, and I want them now. So, we're already 16 days in. That's another half a month. Alright. And we're going to go ahead and fire. You can see it very slowly sinking. So slowly. We are several million meters. Wait, no, that's billions. We're several billion meters away from the sun on periapsis still. So, yeah, this is going to be quite a long fire in general. Either way, if this ends up being like a very ellipsoidal orbit, if we can get within the MOHO orbit, then I will consider myself fairly pleased with how this is working out. So, yeah, let's just go ahead and go for it. That's what I say. No time for sitting around and wondering if we could when we should have already done it by now. Let's see. Fuel's almost out, and we're not going to quite make it. Oh, well. That's not a big deal. Alright, cool. And then let's separate. Alright. So, where are we technically? What does it consider us being in right now? That is entirely fair questioning. Let's go ahead and what we're going to do is orient ourselves so that, let's see, we're in solar orbit, so what we want to do is angle ourselves so that we are pointing straight up. Hold on, that's not it. Why am I having issues here? Okay, that's it. Since we have a bunch of radial solar panels, what I want to do is make sure that we are turned pointing up and down relative to the sun, and that doesn't seem to be it. There we go. Pointing north. There we go. So we've always got some solar panels facing the sun, no matter where we are in our orbit. So, and that's extremely convenient. So as you can see, yeah, we'll always be pointing towards the sun in some way. Let's see. Sun exposure 0. Energy flow 0. Status direct sunlight, etc. And it kind of tells you, gives you a little readout there. So now what we can actually do is, let's see, we're about as far away as we're going to be, roughly Kerbin orbit. We've got that space junk, or what's going to be destined to be space junk. Let's observe mystery goo, and we will beam that back. Transmit data. And what does it say we're at? High space over the sun? Yeah, this is totally cool. I wonder if we actually get to low space over the sun. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, we can't operate that anymore. It used to be you could just do it over and over again. Let's see. Rename, reaction wheel, toggle torque, review data. There we go. And let's go ahead and send it back. It's only going to give us 3 science, which is pathetic. And then while we're here, we'll also observe materials bay. And then we'll send that back. That's worth 55 science, so not too terribly bad. Could always be better, but oh yeah, let's turn lights on. Oh yeah, I can do that all from here. There we go. We are now lit up. Ain't that pretty? Does that change our, no. Okay. So, I rather like the way that looks. That's pretty that's nifty. It's snifty. And, yeah, so we've got our mobile science station here now. We can also log the temperature. Oh, it can't be done right now. That's freaking stupid. Why not? Toggle display. 200 and, or negative 200 centigrade there. That's pretty cool. Alright, let's go ahead and speed up time really quick and see if we can get any different readings a little bit closer. And yeah, there we go. That's as fast as we can go. The days are passing by very quickly. Okay. Yeah, we might have to... We'll modify our design a little bit to get a little bit more mobility out of our interspace stage. But otherwise, this isn't too bad. This isn't too bad at all. Alright, where does this consider us? Alright, let's go ahead and... oh, slow down all the way, thank you. Observe. And we are going to transmit 0 science if we try to. This is unfortunate. And the goo feels right at home here. I am disgusted. Alright, we'll go ahead and transmit that. Yep. That's inoperable. Mystery goo. Nothing? Seriously? Ah, that's so annoying. But we're still in high space over the sun, so I guess it makes sense. Can I take temperature? Log temperature? Temperature scan can't be done right now. Ugh, so annoying. Okay, so that wasn't nearly as fruitful as I thought it might be, but now we have a satellite around the sun, and it's in a really cool orbit, so maybe we'll pick it up later and then, you know, get some science out of it, and that'll just be a fun little flyby experiment at some point. Either way, it's been like 4 months, and now Jeb's probably really bored, so we're going to go ahead and go back to our space station, Space Center, and let's see what happens. So we got 121 science. That's enough to get something, I think. Oh, no, wrong place. Wrong place, wrong time. Alright. And yes, we can get one of the 90s. That's 160. Ah, that's unfortunate. Oh well. Now, small gear bays interest me, as well as micro landing struts just slightly. And I'm wondering, or maybe we just save our points. Yeah, let's save our points until we get something that's a little more feasible. This I'm kind of putting off until we start going to other planets with atmospheres. And that way we can kind of explore them a little bit easier, in theory. And then these are, yeah, these are supposed to be for like planes and stuff, and I'm not too terribly worried about them. But everything else is at least 160, if not more. These are 300 science for nuclear propulsion, so I think we will continue to mess around with our science vessels. So let's go ahead and do that. Interplanetary drone Mark II. Alright, we're gonna change things up a little bit, namely take off all of those. We don't need that many. We just need 2. So there we go. Back to being super phallic. Temperature readings. Temperature readings I'm not so sure about, but I imagine we only need 2 of those as well. So, alright. And 2 of those. We're good on all of that. More science. Nah, we don't need it. You could probably get rid of that fuselage too, but I kind of like it being there. I don't know. I don't have an explanation for that. Alright, and then we need to modify the rockets a little bit. Let's go ahead and... how do I want to do this in the most sane fashion? Let's go ahead and... first of all, let's get rid of that. And then what I want to do is maybe add a few more fuel tanks. And then connect all of them. So we'll do here to here. That's the correct flow, right? Yeah, there we go. Let's just checking the arrows to make sure. And then we'll do that. Fantastic. That'll probably give us a little bit of spin, but that's not a big deal. Okay. And I like how most of the rest of that went. It wasn't so bad. We just need a little bit of extra assistance on getting out into the orbit. So let's go ahead and give this guy a good solid launch and see what happens. Okay. Unless I accidentally built it into the ground, in which case this could be bad. Yeah, that's what happened. I was like, wait a minute, this reminds me of something. Yep, that's what it was. Alright, so let's revert to vehicle assembly. Oh yeah, you know what? For interplanetary, since we're going to be pulling some pretty complicated maneuvers, let's take this and turn it into a 6X part. Yeah, there we go. That makes more sense. Alright. Everything else is a little twisty. That's fine. Make sure we actually take the appropriate part there to move around. And then, oh god, I can't zoom out anymore. But that's fine. This guy's a little tall. Your mom's a little tall. That didn't make any sense. I'm terribly sorry. Alright, and this can go here. And everything else is correct. Yep. Okay. Launch. Alright, and this one we might actually try to get into low space around the sun. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Thrusters all up. That was a little iffy there for a second. Alright, let's turn on SAS. Let's see how well this actually does. Alright, yeah, they're burning that fuel first, which is perfect. That's about exactly what we want to have happen. And then it's going to burn that fuel. Even better. Not getting quite the thrust I would really want to have happen here, but that's fine. We might just add some boosters. We'll see how high up this actually gets us first. So there we go. Second tank drained. And now we're getting a little bit of wobble because we're getting more and more unsteady as the center of mass is changing here. That's fine. I think we'll survive. More or less without too many issues. Where are we at, actually? Yeah, we're barely halfway through the main part of the atmosphere and down 2 tanks. These will take a lot longer to drain, in theory. In theory. Interesting. I don't know how it's gauging the actual amount of fuel that we have here, so this kind of bothers me. Alright. Okay. Oh yeah, definitely slowed down a lot. That's kind of interesting. Those fuel readouts are maybe not as reliable as I would prefer. Alright, where are we at? Okay. Let's wait until this starts saying closer to, say, 30 or 40 kilometers. Well, you know what? Let's wait until it's out of the atmosphere before we start doing a serious gravity turn. How about that? That might be the most conservative way. Alright, and we hit 60,000. Perfect. Now we can turn without too much guilt. And our fuel just ran out. That's almost perfect. Exactly how I would want it to go. Alright, turn on RCS. Try to right ourselves here. Apparently I only have RCS on the end point there. That maybe is not the best thing. But oh well. Alright, now let's right ourselves. Oh no, there's some on the inside there. I seem to have missed a couple spots though. Oh well. Not a big, huge, hairy, stinking deal. Alright, so now we have the height we want. 70,000 is more than enough. So really, yeah, 60,000 is outside of this gauge, which is where you want to be. So we'll go ahead and speed things up a little bit. And then point to the horizon line. Yeah, we'll just point right at it. There we go. That's probably the smartest idea. Wait for that to come down a little bit. We're going to turn a tiny bit, add some roll to it. There we go. Our orbit path is a little off, but again, we're trying to get close to the sun, so no biggie. Okay, and then fire. Alright, what is that doing to this? Oh, we're actually keeping pretty damn stable. I appreciate that. Okay, faster, faster, faster we go. Our main landing jet is overheating a little bit, but that's to be expected. Again, we have twice as many smaller engines on the outside here, so I'm not too worried about how these maneuvers are going to go compared to the last time. So if all goes well, we'll almost certainly be getting really close to the sun. And yeah, that's basically exactly what we want to do. At least until we get like nuclear rockets or something like that. That's going to be a huge, huge moment in our ability to make large interplanetary maneuvers for certain. Right now we can just sort of play around and just be like, hey, you know what? I haven't been here yet. So that's pretty much the plan. Okay. It's getting out of control. Whoa. Nope, 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 nope. I don't like it. I don't like it. Alright. And let's do this. Yes, perfect. Okay. We're manipulating things the way we want to be manipulating things. Sort of. I might have screwed that up a little bit. That's fine. That's totally fine. Alright, where are we at? We got 4 more minutes left. I'm contemplating a relaunch. I'm like, that's actually pretty bad. Yeah, let's do this one more time. Okay. Revert to launch. Like, as much as fun as, not having... Whoa, that was crazy for half a second there. Do I want another engine? You know what? Yeah, just let's add a little bit more thrust. Revert flight to vehicle assembly. I know what I'm going to do. I don't know why I didn't do this in the first place, but let's go ahead and simplify this considerably. Okay, more engines here. And 2, 3, 4. And then one more rocket on the bottom. There we go. I think that's fine. That should be totally okay. Let's go ahead and take off this guy. Save and launch. So this has been the super special experimentation episode of Cardboard Decoy Plays Kerbal Space Program, if nothing else. Just trying to figure out how to make a better rocket for traveling to the sun with our satellites. So, you know, who could blame me? This might be bad. Okay. Well, let's go for it. Throttle up. Okay. There we go. That's relatively stable. I'm not going to worry about it too much. We'll see what happens though. SAS is on. We got just slightly, a tiny bit of a point to us, but that's within bounds. By point, I mean we're tilted just a little bit. Okay, hopefully none of our engines explode. That would be embarrassing. Yeah, we're getting there. We're going about as slow as our first phase last time, so the difference is almost negligible at this point. We're just sort of dicking around and seeing what will happen. Yeah, after this, the only thing I could think of is maybe add some boosters. So, but hey, we're no longer overheating. I guess the wind resistance is starting to keep the engines cool for us, which is convenient to say the least. So, 165, 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah, okay. Not going terrifically fast, but we're actually averaging just a little bit slower in the progression chain here than usual. So we're already on our second tanks. Ship's getting considerably lighter as we go, which is always appreciated. Meters a second. Oh man, I think I realized. So I've been trying to record more on my recording days on the weekends, and like this is hour 3 for me, and I'm like, yeah, it's going to be a test of endurance for a while, but I still want that to be my goal, to be able to have a pretty robust scheduling of or work schedule as far as recording videos goes, if you could really consider it work. I know many people do. I don't mean to offend or anything like that, but it's definitely like one of those. It's a cross between, like, it's still very much a hobby for me, but at the same time, I want to know if I could actually, you know, play with the big boys of YouTube recording, so to speak. Okay, RCS on. Turn to the side. So the whole thing is a big experiment for me, just seeing if I could actually have the discipline and or continue recording videos at a rate like I had before. I mean, I definitely, whenever I was doing how many videos was it? It was a pretty considerable number of videos a day there for a while. I was doing 3 a day. Yeah, and keeping up with the recording for that was really challenging and interesting to me, and I really liked it, and that was definitely not the bad part. The bad part was whenever I started moving, and like basically anything that happened in my life, whenever that started happening, it totally threw off my ability to focus and do things. So now I'm just slowly kind of getting myself back up to speed on what I can and can't do as far as recording videos goes, as you probably are aware of. You know, the fact that I only have 2 series and I'm only recording series 1 at a time as opposed to trying to juggle 3 recording schedules altogether. So, and I don't mind it. This is definitely a little bit more stable for a guy who still has a day job. So, although if I screw up anything anytime soon, it's going to be trying to do actual live streaming of game playing and all of that. All right, here we go. We're going to try to pick up as much speed as possible. And our fuel is still going really strong. I'm actually pretty impressed. So, next will be interplanetary stage, which will establish our orbit for us, and then hopefully get us to the sun. Alright, there we go. Roars to life. And our apoapsis is still falling, which I don't particularly appreciate. Although I think the reason for that is because we're well past it at this point. There we go. Let's just focus on getting our horizontal momentum going. And then get a decent periapsis going for us on one side, or at least apoapsis will be fairly out there. Enough so that we don't have to worry about crashing into the planet on our return trip here. That's the goal. So apoapsis is moving. And periapsis needs to remain high. As soon as we can skirt around the edge here on our periapsis, we'll be happy campers. Alright, you know what? That's good enough. That definitely got a little crazy on that side. Okay. We can only do ×4 time warp. Largely because our periapsis is still just barely within the atmosphere, but that's fine. All that's going to do is just lightly arrow break our apoapsis, and you know, it wouldn't hurt it to, you know, drop a few meters. Okay. Waiting to do the time warp again. Step to the right. And you know what? Let's go ahead and add a maneuver node. Where are we at on time? Oh, we're a couple minutes over. Okay, well, you know, we'll continue our journey around the sun here, and next time, that's where we started last time. Isn't that crazy? So I don't know if that's actually a full year plus or not. I don't remember how long a Kerbin year is, to be honest. Yeah, so I'm just gonna add a maneuver here and start getting that ready, and then yeah, well, next time we will continue on this little experiment and trying to get around the sun and hopefully get close to the sun so that we can actually get some good data from it that we didn't get before, and that ought to be real good times. Oh no, what did I say? It's a lot easier if we escape out this way. Logically, this way we don't run the chance of running into Kerbin again like a awkward ex-girlfriend encounter. There we go. That's what I want. Okay. Makes sense to me, at least. That seems like the best way to escape Kerbin's influence there. So we'll do this, and then if failing that, we'll see what kind of research we get that we can continue making goofy stuff with. Oh, we're still in physics warp mode. That's crazy. Okay. But yeah, and yeah, otherwise this has been Cardboard Decoy playing Kerbal Space Program. If you've enjoyed, please do like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Have fun.